Okay. Okay, now, wait a second, please.
Okay.
Okay, Lucas, so now I will share you my screen. And we have two grammars that both are like similar. So that's why
Okay.
we had to do it together in one class.
Okay.
So let me share this. This is the last grammar. Okay. Models of possibility or probability. So it's loading. I think that now it's going to be available. You can see it. Okay. Possibility, probability. And we have these two ones. Okay. In this grammar, we will see this structures. Most of this, it is with the structures, okay? So
Okay.
we don't have many examples here, but we have to see the structures that we can see. So let's see, for example, when do we use, or in order to use probability, we're gonna use this auxiliary that it is must. Must always we use for probability, okay? And the other one, okay, for possibilities, we're gonna use another two ones. So for probabilities, must. Now, in must, we can use or we can make statements like affirmatives or negatives. Subject, must, verb in base form, and the complement. Ouch, sorry. Verb in base form and the complement. For example, something probable, it is like a, let's see this, like I must, like I must go out tomorrow. So the probability is like 100% that something is going to happen. Okay, something is going to happen, or maybe that something is true. Okay, so for example, I must go out tomorrow. So this is like 100% that it's gonna be that you are gonna do it. Okay, or maybe in negative. For example, the subject, we have only must not plus the verb in base form and the complement. Something that it's gonna be, for example, in negative, something that we are not gonna do. I can say, for example, we must not travel this week. So this is like 100% of probable that something is not going to happen, okay? So when we use 100% with must, it's a probability, something that it's gonna happen. But what happened in other cases, like possibility? We're gonna use other models like may, like might, or like could. So something that we don't know that is going to happen, we're gonna use these three auxiliaries. And these three are going to show that it is a 50% that something happens, okay?
Okay.
In affirmatives, we use the three ones. So I can use the subject, I can use may, or I can use might, or I can use could, both. Sorry, the three ones we can use. So it is not going to have any difference. So if I want to use with may, it's okay. With might, it's okay. Or with could, it's okay.
Okay.
Always the verb in base form and the complement. For example, I may, I don't know, I may play with you. I may play with you. So this is like a 50%. But what happened in negative? In negative, we are going to use for a 50% of something it's possible or something is not possible, I will use just may or might. Okay, no more. I can't use could. So these two ones with verb in base form and the complement. And this means that something is like 50% that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because this is negative, right? So for example, I can say they might not come with us. Okay, but I have two kinds of negatives. This is the first kind of negative. The other kind, it is with could. So I can use subject, couldn't, in this case, couldn't, plus the verb in base form and the complement. But what does it mean? That we're gonna use couldn't, or in some cases, we can use can't to plus the verb in base form and the complement in order to say that something is 100% that it's not possible. So this means that it is impossible.
Okay.
So really, really impossible. For example, I can say they can't or they can't play soccer with shoes because they have to use tennis shoes. So this is impossible, right?
Okay.
And when we talk about questions, okay, we are going to we have two kinds of questions. The first one, okay, in both cases, we only are going to use about these three ones, we are going to use only could in order to make questions. Only could, no more.
Okay.
So could, subject, verb in base form, and the complement. So this is the first way in order to make questions. In this case, if we have any verb that it's not verb to be, for example, like could you come here? So in this kind of questions, we are using any verb, in this case, come. This is not verb to be. So my answer could be with like, yes, maybe I could. In order to answer, I can use whatever of these ones because it is in affirmative. So yes, maybe I could. Yes, I could. Or maybe yes, I might. Or yes, I may. But what happened the other way? When we have the could, or for example, another question like, could you be here? In this case, you can see this other question with verb to be. When you have verb to be, you always have to answer with verb to be. Could you be here? Yes, I might be. Okay, not just could or not just might or not just may, always with be. Okay, if the question has be, we always answer with the modal and the be. If we don't have the verb to be, only the modal. Okay.
Okay.
So this is probability and this is possibility. We always have to be sure that for something that is 100% of certain, we use must or must not. We don't have questions with must, okay? In possibility, we can use, in affirmatives, we can use the three ones in order to say that 50 or 50 yes, 50 no. In negative, only for 50 yes, 50 no, may and might not. And something 100 impossible, just couldn't or can't.
Okay.
And for questions, always just could. I can't use may or might for questions, just could. Okay?
Okay.
So this is the structure. Lucas, do we have maybe some question about this?
No.
No, right? Okay, so did you take notes or the photo?
Yes.
Okay. So the other is gonna be similar. So let's go to the platform.
To the platform?
Yes, let's go to
Okay, let me log in. And...
Okay.
Lore, I don't have assignment.
Oh, you have, give me a second, I will see it.
Okay. And Lore, could you assign me the last unit? I didn't do the unit.
Or 3?
Yeah, the 3,
Ouch, give me a second.
please.
Oh, yes. Okay.
So I will do it, both of them today.
Yes. Okay. Yes. Missing this. This 3 1. Mm, mm, 3, 3, 4. Okay. Now it's assigned, Lucas, so you can refresh the page.
Okay, I'm gonna refresh. So now it's assigned. So the model A, unit 4, grammar, models of possibility and probability, right?
Yes, 1. The present, right? The first one.
Yes. So let me share you my screen.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see.
When worried about Talia, I think she might feel. It's okay with feel?
Yes. Always with verb in base form, right? Always.
Mhm. Jackie hair color is different each time I see her. Well, she doesn't wear a wig, so she she my. It's okay with my.
In this case, as Patty says, Jackie's hair color is different each time. No puede ser una posibilidad, right? So as it is, yes, it's a probability because, well, she doesn't wear a wig. Wig is peluca. Ella
Okay.
no usa una película. She must color it. Yes.
Mhm. Okay. You know Jackie Baker isn't here. Her real name. So here, when you are doing a question, it should be
When
cool.
it's, yes, always could for questions.
Yes.
Yes, just could.
And Sunny and Doug are both taking drama classes at the university. They may know, maybe they have taken times that Professor Roberts doesn't wear a wedding ring. Well, he may not. Do you think Nick is guilty? It's okay.
Can't be,
He,
yes.
Talia gets
It's impossible.
as in our journalism class. She was. Jackie's being really friendly to Amy. She
Suspect that
mm,
is tricking her.
so she must not.
Yes. Right.
Okay, I'm gonna save and let's see. Okay,
Great. So let's go next.
next one. Professor Robert Shakespeare. He always looks so happy when he's quoting him. Hmm. Most love Shakespeare. Ron is absent again. I wonder what the problem is. Well, he may not like. Jackie looks terrible today. I wonder what's wrong. She she must not feel well. Is Marcel Flinch? Marcel always gets good grades. He Why are those students leaving? I don't know. The class. Okay, I'm gonna save and see.
See it. Yes, great. Excellent, Lucas. So now I will show you my screen
Okay.
because the other grammar, it is similar. So it is
Okay.
really similar. The structures, the definitions are gonna be the same, but we're gonna see this in some, what happened. This was probability and possibility in present. But what happened when we talk about probabilities or possibilities in past? So in past, we will use this. We had the same. Okay. So it is the same structures. That the only thing that we're gonna add is this. Must. When we talk about past, we always use, or we're gonna use the help of perfects. So must have, okay, always must have. So here is not gonna be just must, so must have. And the verb is not gonna be in base form. The verb is gonna be in past participle. So I must have gone, okay, gone out tomorrow. And in this case, as it is past, I could say yesterday, and it's gonna mean like yo debí, right, in past, debí haber salido ayer, for example. Okay, so always in past. Ya no va a ser yo debo, sino yo debí haber salido ayer. Must not, the same. Must not have, after not have, always the past we're gonna put in the first modal. So subject must not have and verb in past participle. We must not have traveled this week. Last week we could put like in past, and the meaning is gonna be like nosotros no debimos haber viajado la semana pasada. Okay, so this is probability in simple past. It's gonna sound like a regret. Okay, it's gonna sound like a regret. So now, after this, may, might, or could, plus, in this case, the same is gonna happen. May, might, or could, the 3-1 with have. May have, might have, or could have. Okay, and this is gonna be like 50%. In this case, may, might, could have, and the verb in past participle. So I may have, have played with you. Possibility 50-50. Yo pude haber jugado contigo. Pude haber jugado contigo. May, might not have, and the verb in past participle and complement 50-50. They may not have come with us. Ellos podían no haber venido con nosotros. 50-50. 100% of something impossible couldn't or can't have, and the verb in past participle. 100% of impossible. They can't have played soccer with shoes. Ellos no podían haber jugado fútbol con zapatos. Any question is gonna be the same. First, the first modal could, subject, have, and past participle. Could you have come here? Yes, and in the answers, always we're going to use both modals. Yes, I could have. Okay, yes, I could have. Or with verb to be, could you have been here? ¿Podías tú haber estado aquí? Yes, I might have been. Okay, so always in the answers, we're gonna use both modals, could, may, can, and the second auxiliary. Perfect. Have, and always with the verb in past participle. Okay? So this is just for simple past when we talk about probabilities or possibilities. Okay, Lucas, so is it understood? Because
yes.
it's not complicated, right?
No.
Okay, perfect. So now took notes about this and we're gonna go to the platform.
Okay, give me a minute, please.
Okay, so
Okay, now I'm gonna share you my screen.
okay.
Can you see?
Yes, now I can see it. Next,
So
yes, past one.
the matrix doesn't have a reservation for us. Well, I made one, so they must not. I called Natalia, but she's not home. I'm not sure, but she may have gone out with me. Amy's not home either. Could she have gone with maybe she went to the library to study. She might have. Professor Robert's class was cancelled today. Jackie must not have was cancelled today. Jackie must not have knew about it. She went to class. Eddie wasn't at work yesterday. I wonder if she was sick. She could have been. She's been looking kind of tired. I think we met at Jill's party. We we couldn't have. Could Amy have introduced us? She might have.
No, in
Okay.
this case, Lucas, when we have third person, he, she, it, always in this, we're gonna use with have, okay?
Okay.
Because the first auxiliary that we have, it's might, may, and could.
Okay.
Okay? Yes.
So
And,
I'm gonna save.
okay, I think that there is one mistake, and you're gonna tell me why.
So here in new.
Yeah. Because new is simple past.
Yes.
Right. So correct way, no. Great. Perfect. Okay, so let's go next.
So here. When did competitive sports begin? A very long time ago. Organized sports. My, like, might have exist in Central America 3,000 years ago. No, they have sports like that long. It's not impossible. They build. It's okay.
Built with T.
With with what?
T.
Built.
Yes, yes.
What did they play thousands of years ago?
And the first one, Lucas,
Here.
just for example, exist, it's in base form. What is
Okay.
the past participle? Yes. And in the second one, you are using the first modal, could or couldn't, and have like participle. And yes, great.
Okay. What did they play thousands of years ago? Samba chords have stone rings, so they may have played something like basketball, and in Michael Jordan's probably a lot of statues show kings dressed like ball players, so athletes must being pretty important. Oh, it sounds like things might have so different from today. Okay.
Mhm. Probably. And the last one, I'm not sure, but I think that it's negative because probably a lot of status show kings dressed like players, okay, athletes must have been very pretty important in that time. Oh, it sounds like things might have been so different from today or might not have been.
So must
No,
not.
no, and that first it's okay. I think in
Uh,
the second one,
no.
I think it's better not because if in the first one we have something probable and in the
Okay.
second it's any different. So let's see it.
Okay. So I'm gonna say
Okay.
some. Oh,
Yes, yes.
okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys. So now, eh, okay. Now with this, yes, with this grammar, we finish all this module. Okay, so I will assign you the quizzes. So quizzes
Okay.
4 and module. Okay, quizzes 4 and module. And okay, so you have to finish until Thursday, okay? Because you have now 3 quizzes.
Okay.
Yes, so try to do it this. Okay, could you finish the quiz of Unit 3 until tomorrow?
Yes, of course. Of course. Don't worry about that.
Okay, okay. That's because if we can't do this, I think that we can't ability model B.
Okay.
Okay, so for tomorrow
Okay.
finish, okay, this unit.
Okay.
And we're gonna do, of course, today we're gonna cover the other hour, but we are not going to assign, okay, module B, we are not going to assign
Okay.
that, okay. For this first hour, we're going to finish here, and we're gonna do the surveys, and we're
Okay.
gonna come back to the same link immediately, okay?
Okay.
So give me a second. We have 2 surveys.
Okay. This is one.
Second.
This is the another one. Okay.
Ouch. Okay. Yes, it's loading. It's a little bit. Okay. Okay,
So,
Lucas, so we're gonna come back immediately to the same link.
okay.
Okay.